Neo-colonialism. Why are they messing with Venezuela so much? Why? Venezuela is the biggest reserve of oil. They got all that oil in Venezuela, right? Iran is number 3. Or number 4. Iraq, Saudi Arabia is number 2. Iraq is number 3. And Iran is number 4. They've destroyed, Libya was up there, but Libya got sweet oil. It's better than other. You know what I mean? You did less refining, less, you just put it in a thing, stir it up a little bit, and you get anything you want out of it. That's Libyan oil. They wanted to reshape the whole Middle East in their image. Not only the Middle East, but South America. Okay, the world is in a big place, a big transition right now. So what they want to do is the U.S. is in a desperate move. The U.S. is not a unipolar world anymore. And if they wanted to do something to help the world, when the Soviet Union fell, they would have said, okay, we're getting rid of all the bombs and we're going to have peace and tranquility. They didn't do that. Head of Newsweek said the new enemy, that might have been in '91. Who was the new enemy? It had the white and green flag, the Islamic flag. This is a new enemy. And the press just, where's my seat? They got their seat on board, and they flip just like that. It's just like Saddam Hussein was a friend of the West, right? And in 91, the butcher, Saddam Hussein is good, Saddam Hussein is good. In the middle of the stream, on the same horse, butcher of Baghdad, butcher of Baghdad, butcher of Baghdad, right? What we're suggesting is that Iran goes around, use all their resources, take 3 or 4 issues and focus on those. Refocus the world on what they want them to focus on. And they refocus themselves, the country, the society. They refocus themselves on what is good for them, what they control. You got to remember, they're focused on economy. Who controls the world economy? The United States. So if they make you fight their battle, they win all the time. That's why if you beat upside the head or anything else, you say, I'm not fighting no niggas, because that's what they always do, get you to fight another nigga. Remember, I always said, I don't like niggas that jump on other niggas. I just don't like them. Why? Because the white man is the one putting you in the penitentiary, right? You go to the American court, you don't go to no Negro court, right? All over the world, divide, conquer, and rule. So we want to get the Islamic Republic to focus on what they're in charge of. We want the Islamic Republic to unify itself. That's why I say Zarif should go tomorrow over to, because the ex-presidents they have expediency council, go over there and tell Ahmadinejad we're ready to work together. That means, now we said similar to this 3 years ago, but it's serious, real serious now. That means Iran has to focus on its resources. Design fitna is just like what we had. When it says they will not cease fighting you till they turn you back from their religion, if they can. It's from the Quran, that's new. Same thing with us. What's design fitna? Iran has to use its resources. And it has to, first of all, it moves away. What was they calling that? Resistance economy? You got to move away from this economy they got. Iran has to mobilize its resources. If it has to go into rationing, it's okay. Here's what we're going to do, everybody. We're going to focus our resources. Because see, Imam said this a long time ago. They said, we don't have no bananas. He said, we didn't have no revolution for bananas. He said, we don't have no meat. That was during the war. He said, we didn't have no revolution to eat all the meat in town. Here's what the revolution, what was the purpose of the revolution. I was talking to a guy from Iran the other day. He was calling me, you know, a regular little guy, trying to feed me what they want to feed me. I said, no, that ain't the way it is. I said, Iran did not have a revolution for economic reasons. That you are to be the leader of the Islamic world, which they already are. Look at Iran, what it really is. So-called Persian Gulf. They got rid of Gaddafi, boop, just like that. Then they came after Syria, right? But everybody said, oh no. The Russians said, oh no, we ain't going for that. Iran said, oh no, we ain't going for that. And it just so happens that the only country, Arab country, did not fight against Iran during the first Gulf War, 1980 to 1988, was Syria. It didn't fight against it, right? In fact, they cooperated. Syria is the one that opened up the channel for the Islamic Revolutionary Guards to come through Syria to go into Lebanon and train the Lebanese, right? They trained Hezbollah. The Zionists talking about, we gonna jump on Hezbollah, we gonna jump on Iran. Now suppose the student is whooping your behind. Tell the truth. The student, Hezbollah, is whooping the Zionists behind. So you think they want to fight the professor? Right? They don't want to fight. Who they want to fight? Iran. They want the Americans to fight. Saudi Arabia is slaughtering our people right today. Who do they want to fight Iran, to stop Iran? See, you got to remember, Iran has Iran has won all of this stuff. When it started out 40 years ago, Saudi Arabia was spending all those billions on all of that money. On all of these, on books, on literature, on fitna. And it didn't work. They got the whole people, Negroes, wearing their clothes up high. All that's Saudi Arabia. Remember the bitter man, Dawood Adib and all them boys? Hey man, they've been rolling, spending big billions, and it haven't worked. Iran has slowly gained power. The white man said Saudi Arabia is good at breaking things, and Iran is good coming along and picking up the pieces. They picked up the pieces. In Lebanon, they saying the Houthis ain't allowing nobody to take over these ports for the UN. The Houthis is winning. That's why you don't hear much about Yemen anymore. Right. Why? Well, they whooping they behind.
They just had to have some type of treaty to leave the port.
To leave the port. It's okay, we're going to leave and we're going to let humanitarian. Right. They saying, we're going to let humanitarian aid come in under the UN. Now, what the white folks say is that the Houthis just put on different uniforms, Air Force uniforms, something like that, and they still there. It don't make no difference what they do. It's their country, they got a right to do it. But, so Yemen, you got to look at the whole area. Iraq was supposed to be a big loss. But Iraq is on Iran's side. Iraq is a big country. The biggest countries in that region are on Iran's side. Iran, Iraq, Syria. Remember? Strategic alliance. And add Russia. Add Russia? Sure, add Russia. Russia is a wounded superpower that's on the way back. And guess what? Putin got more sense than all of them put together because he's doing everything right for them. It ain't costing them much, right? Okay, so, no, here's a strategy. This psychological guerrilla warfare is very serious. Number one is the focus of Iranian government. Let me see. Non-confrontational, non-military. That means that Iran will not be confrontational with the U.S. Why is that important? One anti-Iranian was trying to make fun of Iran in the press, saying Iran is a paper tiger. In other words, it's talking. So if they stupid, they say, we ain't no paper tiger, we'd take on this, be the stupidest thing that they could do. Why? Iran is over 80 million people, and it is, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. The work that they've done over the last 30 years, they put in. Now remember, the U.S. destroyed Libya. It's destroyed Syria. You see all those miles and miles of buildings, a shamble? That's what they would do to Iran. Well, I don't think they can. I don't think they can. But we're going to help it. We're going to take charge of our own future. Number one, by pulling back from everything that they use against us, and we using those things that we have charge of. I'll get to that in a minute. Non-design fitna means that we designed a program. We're going to have fitna. The Quran said they will never cease fighting you till they turn you back from their religion, from your religion, if they can. If you let them. So we're going to have fitna. It's not only them, but we're going to have fitna. Going to have nothing. We got it. All right. You see what we've done over the last several years. Design fitna. We didn't trap this Marxified European. That was the whole purpose of all of this stuff that's been happening to us. You notice we ain't batted an eye, ain't nothing, because someone had to experience it to prove it works. That's on the closed circuit level. But Iran has to prove it for everybody in the global media. Well, the media may not say, but our media will. If we only have, for instance, every ambassador becomes a public spokesman. Remember, only 4 or 5, they got a museum right now. Iran sent museum pieces to China. So the ambassador should say, yes, Iran and China are very similar in age and history, and we have went through many ebbs and flows, and some of it together and some of it independent of each other. But now here we are, facing basically the same enemy. We don't have to call it enemy. But the U.S. is trying to destroy China and its economy. It's trying to destroy us and our economy. Okay. Remember, non-confrontational. Why does it work? Because that's what we've been. Non-confrontational. We may start a fire in Oakland, but we don't never try to put it out. We start the fire from here. We start the fire from here in Oakland, but you ain't never seen us try to put it out. We let it burn. Why? Because we started the doggone thing. Psychological guerrilla warfare. That's design fitna. We have to have fitna. We're gonna have, right? We accept it. Nobody else accepts it. In America, they believe that we kiss these white folks behind, we won't have no problem. That's what Darlene believed. That's what all of them people, all of them believe it. Isna, Ikna, they believe if we show them that we're good people, they won't bother us. Bull crap. That is the biggest bunch of jive. The Zionists and everybody else that look anti-Islamic phobia is growing all over the world, in Europe, in America, and they keep fanning the flames. The only way you're going to slow this down is take advantage of it in certain ways. And we'll talk about our own self later. But let's pick it up. Non-confrontational, non-military. Iran has a great military. But it don't need to use it. The greatest thing is to win the war without fighting. Remember? This is what psychological warfare is. Asymmetric warfare. They have this amount of stuff and they have this, and we would be fighting on behalf of Saudi Arabia, and America would be fighting on behalf of Saudi Arabia and the Zionists. Saudi Arabia is a big, weak, rich country. Well, it used to be rich. Saudi Arabia just murdered 37 people. They just cut their head off. You don't hardly see nothing about it in the press, right? So we see there's a global control mechanism going. Now, Iran is going to be the peacenik, anti-war. Iran is going to talk about certain things. Well, we have really concentrated on trying to make the world a better place. Don't talk about economy. We know we got an economy. We have settled to make the world a better place. If others want to fight us and argue with us, we're going on about our business. If they want to ride all around the Persian Gulf, they can do anything they want. Number one, we staying away from y'all. We're not letting y'all. They got to tell the world this. Here they come. We're not going to allow them. Is what they say. No, you say what you want to say. We're not going to allow them to draw us into no fight. We just go around them. If the world don't say nothing, if you get in a fight, they don't say nothing. What was that, the ship there? The Iran Air was shot down. 290 people was killed. Remember Iran Air? Taking off Bandar, they just lied. The Vincennes or something like that. They just shot it down. Did nobody say nothing? America didn't even say we're sorry. It's a passenger plane. No military, nothing in Bandar Abbas. So you got a chance to get a fix on the world. The world is a little different place now. So we have to use all the levers that we have. Iran has to use all the levers that it has, right? That's what it uses. They don't worry about what they don't have. You worry about what you do have. So this new way is bold. Use all the resources to mobilize your forces. Trap the USA in its own stew. Basically, that's what it is. Donald Trump is known as a warmonger, right? It's just everybody knows he's just no good. So use that. All the elements of even things that you know that may not work, like, remember, it was 35 million people came out all over the world. It was 4 million in London. I don't know how many here in D.C., thousands, hundreds of thousands in San Francisco and in L.A. about the anti-war with Iraq. George Bush went anyway, but you have to mobilize the people anyway. That's what we do. All the people that's been relaxed since then, Iran used all of its resources to mobilize public opinion. Oh, we're minding our own business. What is the U.S. talking about? They're the ones left the treaty. We're still in the treaty, not partially, all the way. not giving them nothing to use. Not because they're afraid, because they're smart. Because they're smart. You know what everybody told us, man, them niggas in Oakland, I do this and I do that. I said, that's why you're not anywhere. You don't run anything, because you would do that. Even my sons, I told, Dad, I said, you will never be big if you let somebody come tell you when to fight and who to fight. Basically, I told them they were stupid. That you're stupid. You're stupid. If you're going to let, you can see the guy got a sign on his face, on his head, saying, I am an agent provocateur. That's what I'm here to do, to provoke you. And you get provoked. That's what the West is saying. We're agent provocateurs. Iran can use a combination of North Korea and other little stuff. Remember Rocket Man? Next thing, old Don is saying, me and Rocket Man is homeboys, right? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's a little different. The Zionist, remember Ilham Umar? Remember her? She just said, this is a question we have. Should you have allegiance to the United States first before Israel? Remember, that's the question. She didn't bring up, no, we don't like Jews. She ain't said nothing about that. They flipped the whole thing. She's anti-Semitic. She's this and she's that. And the dumb Democrats went along with it because they are in the pocket of the Zionists too. So she got to have backbone. You got to have, whatever you do, if you're going to win, you have to, I don't need you niggas. I like you, but I'm not going to follow nothing you say. If we get killed, we get killed if by ourselves or with a whole crew, or there's nothing, but I'm going to do what I know is right. That's what she's got to, that's the way she's got to look at it, right? She in the big league. You talk about you in Congress, well, you gonna pick on the Zionists? Well, you stay on them. And tell the people, if you don't like what I said, then don't elect me next time. But if I'm here, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. The party, anyway, so use all resources to mobilize your forces. It's a new way to be bold. It's a whole new way. It's a new way of thinking. What's the thinking? The thinking is focus.